or stream that'll come out, but only for a few seconds and then it'll stop. Let's watch. See, when I squeeze hard, a lot more comes out, but then it stops. So let's do this one more time here. You'll notice I pick it up and you don't see anything dripping out at all. But now watch my fingers. When I squeeze a little bit, there a drop comes out, and then when I squeeze hard, now you see a few drops come out and then stop, and that's field capacity. The next step is going to be to heat up our casing material. We want to kill the mold spores that are on it. We're only going to heat it up to about 140 to 160 Fahrenheit, 60 to 70 Celsius. That's going to let the bacteria survive, but it's going to kill off the mold spores. Very important to get a thermometer. Just go get a little $5 meat thermometer at the grocery store. You can see here the jars are moving. The water is boiling, but the thermometer hasn't come up yet. And once it does, once you reach about 140 Fahrenheit or 60 Celsius, shut your stove off. The temperature will go ahead and climb a bit more and then stabilize. If it drops back down below 140 before your hour is up, just turn the stove back on and heat it up again. You'll have to babysit this the first couple of times you do it, and then once you get the procedure down for the particular jars you use or the particular kettle you use to boil in, it'll become automatic. But the end result is you want 140 to 160 degrees or 60 to 70 Celsius for 1 hour. You want to allow plenty of time for your casing material to return to room temperature, and then it's time to apply it to your fully colonized bulk substrate. Now you can see here I'm not wearing surgical gloves or anything else. I have washed my hands. I washed them again with alcohol, but it's not a sterile atmosphere. We don't have to wear a surgical mask or gloves. Now, I'm using a thin lasagna type tray. It's only about 1.5 inches of substrate. So I'm going to put about 1/2 inch of casing material on here, just under 1 centimeter. If I was using a thicker tray or a spawn bag, I might go up to about 1 inch of casing. We want to spread that out, and when about 20% of the casing layer is colonized, when you have mycelium poking through, we'll go ahead and introduce it to fruiting conditions and begin misting at that time to try to replenish the moisture that's evaporated out. Some species benefit from what we call patching, where the first few places that mycelium shows through the casing layer, you apply fresh casing over the top of them. Other species don't benefit from that, so I would suggest you consult Paul Stamets' Growing Gourmet and Medicinal Mushrooms for the growing parameters of whatever specific species you're growing. Poke just a few small holes, as you see here, in the top of the foil for gas exchange, and don't forget to label it with the species, strain, and the date you applied the casing.